Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. My name is Mitzi. I am a GP and yoga teacher trainee, and today I'm doing the part 2 of a beginners series. So last week I went through sun salutations, and this week I'm going to go through some standing postures with you. So grab a mat and let's begin. So today we will be starting at the front of our mat, and we're going to come into Tadasana mountain pose again. So remember, we are standing equally on both feet, pressing through the 3 corners of our feet, knees stacked over hips, over ankles, and we are standing tall, shoulders up and back. Inhale the arms up, exhaling, coming into a forward fold. Inhale halfway like we did last week. Exhale, stepping the hands back, and you're going to step your right foot back and then lower the knee, uncurl the toes. Inhaling the arms up overhead, and exhale, you're going to sink your hips in a little deeper. So feel your hips sinking in. If your knee is starting to overshoot over your ankle, then you might need to step your foot a little bit forward to make sure that you've got a nice 90-degree angle at your heel and at your knee to avoid any strain in your knee. And this will be more important when you build on this posture and come up to a high crescent. So we'll just do the same on the other side. So stepping the left leg back, lowering the knee, uncurling the toes. And then you're going to inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, sink through the hips. Again, if you need to adjust the foot to make sure that you're not putting strain on the knee by having the knee shooting past the ankle. And then exhale, coming up, lowering the arms, curl back under the toe, and then just step to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, inhaling the arms all the way up, exhale, and then just release it out a bit. So the low crescent helps us to build up on these higher postures, but we're going to start with our warrior one. So standing at the front of the mat, step your left foot back behind you, and then you're going to lower your heel, keeping your toes facing forward. Your hips and your shoulders are facing forward towards the short edge of your mat. And you're going to inhale your arms up overhead. You want to ensure that you're opening your front knee out so that your knee isn't pressing in to protect the knee, and sink as low as you find comfortable. Coming now into warrior 2 pose. This time you're going to make sure that your heels are aligned. You're going to continue to bend through that front knee, but this time, rather than your hips and shoulders being squared to the short edge of your mat, you're going to be squared to the long edge of your mat. Your toes are still facing forwards towards the front of the mat, and you're still pressing that front knee open, and you should just about see your toes peeping over. You're going to open your arms out to the side, relax your shoulders, and your drishti, your gaze, will be at your front middle finger. Spread and energize your fingers. Sink a bit lower into the hips if you can. From here, windmill your hands down to the mat. So you've got one hand either side of your foot coming into a high lunge, and then you're going to bring your back foot, that left foot, back to the mat between the hands. And then slowly inhale all the way up to rise. And feel free to practice that a few times, making sure that you're really building the posture from the ground up, pressing through the feet, making sure that your hips are square to the short edge in warrior 1 and square to the long edge in warrior 2. But now we'll step the right foot back this time and practice on the other side. So when you step back so your feet are about hip width apart sideways, so that you have a bit more space in your lower back. Your hips and shoulders are square to the short edge, and you're going to inhale your arm up, making sure that that front knee doesn't go over the ankle to protect the knee. gaze is lifted, heart is open, chest is open, and just remember to connect to your breath, breathing in and out slowly through your nose. We are going to transition through to Warrior 2 now, so bringing that foot back so that now your heels are in line, but your toes are facing forward. So your front foot and your back foot have your toes facing the short edge of the mat. Your hips are square to the long edge, as are your shoulders, and you're going to inhale your arms up to the side, lowering the shoulders away from your ears. Fingers are spread, hands and arms are engaged, and you're sinking into that knee without going over and overshooting the ankle. Again, windmill the hands down, stepping through your high lunge, coming all the way up to the front of the mat. Again, you may wish to repeat those a few times so you feel very comfortable in those postures. Okay, we're going to move on to the next pose, which is tree pose. Now there are a few variations, so it's a standing balance pose. We're going to start by standing on our left leg. So pressing the weight through your left leg. You can either have your right foot, so it's just resting on the ankle, or if you're going to be fully balanced on that left leg, then you can put your foot to the calf, your right foot to the calf, or your right foot into the thigh, making sure that you're not putting your foot on the knee, as that can stress the joint. You want to try and open the hip out as much as you can. You can keep your hands on your hips, or you can inhale them up overhead and keep them there, or you may wish to keep them at your heart center, whichever feels more comfortable for you. If you're reaching them up overhead, they can just press up like this, palms together, and remember to connect to your breath again. Exhale them down, and then slowly and carefully release your foot and place your leg back down. You may wish to shake out your legs, maybe step from side to side, and we're going to go on the other side. So this time we're bearing the weight down into the right foot. So your left foot can rest just on your tippy toes, or you can press your right foot to your calf, or you can press that left foot into your right thigh. Whichever is more comfortable. Hands can be by the side at the heart center, or you may wish to again press them up overhead, palms together, keeping that hip open on the left side, making sure you're not sinking into your right hip, coming out of it, making sure that you're evenly distributing the weight through the feet up. Avoid locking the knees, especially if you have hyperextendable knees. You want to keep them gently softened to help protect the knees. So come out of the pose, maybe have a little shake out, and again you can repeat that as many times as you like. We are going to move on to the next pose, which is chair pose. So this is a standing posture again, where you will have your feet hip width apart, and then you're going to be sinking down. So bend your knees as much as you can, fingertips just grazing the floor, and then inhale your arms up. So imagine that you're sitting back on a chair, bending your knees as much as you can, trying to keep your heart and your chest open, your gaze is lifted. You can keep your hands at your heart, or you can extend them in front of yourself. You want to be pressing your feet through the floor, engaging the legs. If you look down at your knees, you should just about be able to see your toes. And then release, slowly coming all the way up to stand. Inhale your arms up. So I hope this was helpful for you. You can practice these again. These are some common standing postures that you might come across in your yoga practice. So let me know how you get on, if there's anything else you'd like me to do, and if this helps. See you in the next one.